Okay, I wanted to talk about something I just experienced. So I'm drinking coffee, and I went outside, I smoked a cigarette, and I was thinking about frequencies. Um, I noticed that whenever I'm like super duper calm and I'm communicating with nature, uh, and like, yeah, and I'm like calming down, it's like I will literally see birds like come straight to my location. And that's exactly what happened outside, is that all these birds ended up flocking over to a house that's like right across the way right here. And I started communicating with them, and I was talking about, like, I was, I could hear my own thoughts in the air, and I was like, I just love how delicately balanced they are. It's like as soon as I communicate with them, they come over to me and they flock around, and then they go back to their location. And it's like every time they move over to my location, they bless me with more information. And it's like this communication that happens because I really respect the animals. I feel like one myself, and science shows that we are that. And I was talking about frequencies and about wings. Now, in history, there's a lot of different pictures. There's a lot about angels. And even Egypt, there's a lot of pictures about, like, birds and their wings and Isis and all of that. And I'm like, I feel like we rushed the situation. Wait, hold on. Okay. Yesterday I talked about frequencies and how there is a lot here than what is being revealed. There are a lot of frequencies here that are not being revealed to us, but intuitively we know about. Now, there's much more than just other trees, other structures, other buildings, other people. There's more than just that in this soup that we move through. It's also our own bodies. Our own bodies and what it really, really contains. And when I think about something that I like the most, and I think, okay, what's an age-old thing that we always wanted? To fly, right? To fly. So we came up with all these different ingenuities, like, the airplane, stuff like that. And I'm like, that was a rushed situation, and I'm not downing anything. The ingenuity is impeccable. It's amazing at what we could create. However, this is something that we already had, and something that was became an illusion. No, it was hidden. It was hidden from us. These frequencies were hidden from us because as soon as I started communicating with the birds, I felt the back of my body, my back, and I felt my cells immediately glisten. I want to say glisten, but it's like a vibrating, but it's a very smooth, oxygenated movement. It feels like they flip. It feels like my cells flip and trickle. And in that moment, this is something that I already knew, is that we do have these wings. We already have them. They are already there. And every time I said that in my mind and I heard it in the air, the birds came over again and they swooped and then they went right back. And they swoop very calmly, and I can tell that they're checking me out and I'm checking them out. And they're like, we're literally communicating to each other because it's almost like they're saying, yes, yes, we agree with that. Yes, you're on the right path, because they communicate in a way that I understand immediately is by coming over to my location, and they respect me and I respect them, and there's this love to communicate, to be a representative, because we think that they don't have emotion. We think that they don't know, but their eyes are open all the time, and I communicate very well with them. And to give them a voice, like not only the Akashic records, the trees and nature, but also the animals, is that they do communicate all the time. They know intentions immediately. We see this in dogs and cats. They immediately know what's going on. We think they don't know what's going on, but they do know what's going on. We're simply not communicating with them in the way that they are communicating, and that is through intuition and instinct and just knowing. They just know, like children. They just know when something feels off. They just do. So what I think happened is that whoever they is, are hiding these frequencies from us, and they're saying, well, no, you have to take an airplane. in order to get someplace. You have to do this because that's the only way that we can transport in the air. Well, that is not true. That is not true because I know intuitively, and also speaking with the birds, is that these things are already there, and we can already see that in history, not just from one thing, but from a lot of things, is that wings have always existed. But these frequencies are being hidden from us because I feel it in my own cells that it's there, because as soon as I felt that trickle location right here, I was sent a picture of my wings coming out, and then as soon as that picture came into my mind with the wings coming out, the birds immediately left the location and they came right on over, and they, like, that's basically a verification that I am listening to what they're telling me. And then I heard something else in the soup. I heard something about blood. Something about the taste of blood. And as soon as I heard the taste of blood, I felt that static in my heart and it hurt. And as soon as I felt that, the birds immediately dissipated. Like they immediately left that location and they left that way. And I was like, yeah, that hurt me and that hurt them. Because that's not what I believe. I don't believe anything about having to have bloodshed. That is simply an unnatural... That is an unnatural feeling, because innately I felt it at the same exact time that they felt that. And that's the truth. That's the truth because I'm communicating with them, and that is innate in me, is that fighting for bloodshed is not a natural feeling. Now, I know it's confusing because you see different animals in nature and they fight each other and they eat each other, but let me just tell you something. When it comes to frequencies, and it comes to having frequencies hidden, you know, I have excellent eyesight. Animals have excellent eyesight. But there are things that I simply cannot see, but I do know. And they respect that, and I respect that. We just know it's there, but it is being hidden. Now, when you hide it so well that the animals can't see it, now, they're used to depending on nature, on the fruit. They're used to depending on that. That's what they eat, and that way they don't eat other animals. They are being forced into feeding themselves in any way possible by creating this aggression to, you know, live or die. They have to eat. I mean, we all have to eat, right? Well, that produces aggression. And then, you know, and then it's like, well, you know, even if you are an animal lover and you trust animals and everything else, it's really confusing to see that picture of aggression because that doesn't feel right to me. But when you shove an animal into a situation where they can't see the food that's already there, these Akashic records, these trees that produce the fruit that's already there, it's already there, and they can't see it, now you've fooled not only people, but you've now fooled nature, you've fooled animals into believing, into thinking that they don't have that food available, and now they have to find it somewhere else, and that's not fair. That's not right. And as soon as I thought that and I felt that that drive, that feeling in me of uncomfortable unfairness, the birds immediately came back and they swooped over nice and calm. It's this communication immediately that happens with me and those animals, because they're like, yes. This is why we have to keep our distance. It's unfortunate because those things are being hidden. They are there, and we know that they are there, and it's not fair that that the animals and us are being forced away from the truth and forced into something aggressive, into something that we think we have to do because we cannot see it all. We can't see the whole picture, and that's not fair. It's not fair. Okay, that feels a lot better. They really wanted me to talk about that, because yes, gentle, kind, loving, excited, drive, these are things that we have. Aggression, pain, bloodshed, those things are not natural. It's not supposed to happen, period. We're not being shown all the food available. The meat of the earth, the fruit. There's a reason why we like sugar. There's a reason why we are addicted to sugar and we love sugar, because the fruit of the earth is what we're supposed to have. The sugar of the earth. Okay. Alright. That's all I had to share for now. Thanks for watching.